Oh, what is going on, everybody?
Hello!
It is Pixel Partners here, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. When we left off,
September 10th, 6:15 p.m. District Court number 3.
we are into the final stages of this case. Can we still call it a case? It's not even really a case anymore, is it?
I think you're gonna say cake, and I'm like, Swiss roll is kind of like a cake.
We'll just say of this investigation, it would appear that we have the evidence that proves that the murder most foul took place in a different format than we thought. It looks like it had taken place long before anyone realized anything happened, and then a tape was used.
That tends to be how it goes. People are always killed way ahead of time. I've noticed that. That's a trend.
Well, that's the only way to stop the, you don't have an alibi for this time, so you must be the murderer. And it's like, but did it happen then? So let's go ahead and see what we have to say, because Miss Hughes called us in for something.
Hey there!
Hello.
You.
Hi.
Whoa.
The whole gang's here.
It is, yeah.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Oh, hello, mister. I'm still investigating.
But the object you're looking for has already... Gay. Don't mind him. Please continue with your investigation. Oh, yeah.
Okay, you got it.
I don't want to hear for this, pal. That go bad? Haven't we already found what you were looking for?
You said pal with him
If
again.
it means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer, any little task will do.
Oh, you're more sympathetic than I thought. Dude, get a new coat. Like,
That ain't
for
happening.
the love of God.
It's been passed down from grandpa to grandpa to grandpa.
I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth.
I've also been waiting for the moment in which you can finally lay this case to rest.
The moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest. Wasn't that when we placed Detective Gumshoe under arrest? I think we've more than solved this case already. Don't you? We'll see. It all depends on whether or not your logic holds. Oh, I see. We have a viewer in the gallery. And why even Mr. Bad is here? A viewer in the gallery? I'm hardly just a bystander.
I have a duty. Oh yeah, to see this case through to the end. Oh yeah. No matter how it turns out.
Oh, is that right? Anyway, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements on every single person's movements. During the time when our suspect was in the hallway, I also confirmed that there is no possible route of escape from lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must, without a doubt, be Detective Gumshoe.
And that's all you have?
Yeah, that's all there is to my conclusion and this case.
Sorry, but I beg to differ. In a trial, there is always time for a rebuttal, and we are standing in the court of law. It'd be more than appropriate to follow the rules of court in this case, don't you think?
How absolutely like a rookie to think such a thing. But alright, I'll play along and give you a proper testimony.
If my logic's correct, then I've already won. All I have to do now is to prove it by showing who the real killer is.
She's acting like such a villain right now.
Yeah. And I mean,
So I'm pretty sure it's her.
and I mean, she is the one that from day one has been, pinning this all on Gumshoe.
Yeah.
As if, she would realize that there was someone to try and pin it on, so. But let's see what her argument is.
Everyone, sans the suspect. He's a skeleton. No.
God damn it.
He's the suspect. Get it?
I get
Has
it.
an alibi for when the gun went off.
Maybe.
Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have all been thoroughly investigated, right? I also confirmed that there's no possible escape route from lobby number 2. Which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion, that Detective Gumshoe is the killer. Why is she doing that?
It's a good question. Murder's funny.
Murder's funny.
I love murder.
Now that you have your testimony, I expect a good rebuttal, Edgeworth.
I'll fucking do it again. But of course,
Murder!
there's no need to confront her logic head on right now. I should instead focus on drawing out any trump cards she has up her sleeve. Oh boy, we're having too much fun now.
Yeah.
All right, your argument.
Guilty.
All right, everyone said the stuff has an alibi from the gun went off. Are you sure about that
That
one?
video is so great.
It is the suspect, but I thought that Detective Gumshoe's alibi has already been proven.
Are you joking, Edgeworth?
I assure you this is no joke.
Look, I know you heard from the judge earlier. The detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter eating a Swiss roll.
Yes, that is correct.
But see, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off, right? And the problem is, there's no one else who can corroborate what he did since the snacking.
I see she's done her research well. Is there no camera in the courthouse that looks down, I don't know,
Right?
the hallway to the
You'd
defendant's
think
lobbies?
there'd be security cameras in a courthouse.
But shh, that's logic loopholes. They can't have. It'll be case closed. I mean, they have security cameras in what's the place again? I can't even remember. What was the place that was robbed from the surveillance video? The embassy. They gotta have a camera here. Anyways, which means that I should focus on drawing out whatever trump card she's withholding. Okay. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have all been thoroughly investigated, right? You sure about that? Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not is for me to decide.
The scrunched eyebrows and lines on your forehead are back. Anyway, if you believe it hasn't been exhaustive, the crime scene, lobby number 2, has no way out other than the hallway Detective Gumshoe was standing in. Because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect.
But isn't it also possible that someone escaped through the window and into the garden? That was a dumb comment, Edgeworth.
That's the first place everyone looked, silly. The police aren't a bunch of lazy bums. They looked into every possibility, you know. Isn't that right, Mr. Bad?
Oh, yeah. There wasn't a scrap of evidence to suggest someone used one of the windows. Oh, yeah. There also weren't any footprints or anything. Oh, yeah, in the courtyard garden. Oh, yeah, let me tell you what.
I suppose I already did check everything that could be relevant to the case. Confirm that there is no possible escape route from lobby number 2.
She's trying so hard. That's a lot.
Are you absolutely positive that there are no possible routes of escape?
Of course I'm sure.
And why are you so certain?
This is a courthouse, the place where criminals are brought to be judged. If there was an escape route, I'm sure every criminal would be using it to escape. It's just common sense. Mouse heads first. I suggest you use a bit more of it in the future.
And which leaves us with one genuine conclusion that Detective Gumshoe is the killer. I don't know about that one, Chief. You may think it's unshakable, but to me there are still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was it that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand?
But you're the only one still wondering that. Detective Gumshoe probably had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to write with. Even if you know someone, it doesn't mean you'll know which hand they write with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing.
Oh boy.
She's a basket case.
Yes? I'm not about to let her get a rise out of me with such a flippant statement.
Flippant. I always kind of liked that word.
I suppose you've really reached the end now. I already have my trump card ready, all that remains is to play it. But before I do, I think I should inquire into a little something about her argument. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspect. However, I don't recall either Francesca or myself speaking with you about the subject.
But there were witnesses. For you, there's your mentor who gave you an alibi.
I see.
As for the little Missy, she came to the courthouse during the recess. It was stopped by a security guard at the door to the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, or so I heard. I'm the daughter of Manfred von Karma, and I will not be forcibly stopped by a guard or bailiff or anyone else.
Wait, so basically the only reason Francesca bothered to show up today was because she found out that I was to be the replacement prosecutor? By the way, Miss Yew, what about everyone's alibis before Detective Gumshoe was assigned to guard duty?
What about them?
Have you looked into what people were doing during that span of time?
What kind of idiot do you take me for? It doesn't matter when the killer went into lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot to the time Mr. Bad and I arrived on the scene as we dashed from lobby number 1, the only person who could have committed the crime was Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, let's talk about when you and Detective Bad heard that gunshot, shall we? I suppose that if we go by your logic, then Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, what if the crime had occurred at an entirely different time than when the gunshot you heard went off? What then?
Oh.
That gunshot was a trap meant to manipulate our perception of when the
Sadly, your explanation is very lacking, Edgeworth. The gunshot we heard in lobby number 1. Care to explain how that could have been fabricated?
Well, I have it right here, yes.
Well, she cut you right off. That tape!
Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. This is the surveillance tape of Mr. Rell the prosecution presented in today's trial. This was found loaded in the video player in lobby number 2. That was connected to the large television that has its volume turned all the way up.
You can't honestly mean that the sound we heard was the gunshot in the video.
But I do, which leads me to my next point. The murders occurred much earlier than when anyone heard the gunshot.
Oh, whoa.
She's doing her makeup nervously all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
she is.
That's the only thing I can think of, too. Yeah.
After committing double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video out from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, turned the television's volume all the way up, and left the video to play. If played from the beginning, it would take 30 minutes for the gunshot sound to come on. And since we now know that this method of time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibility that the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe.
Sounds from a television doesn't amount to much here. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and Little Miss Von Karma already knew that much from the very beginning, right? Of course we knew, didn't we, Miles?
Yes, of course. We knew about the soundproof quality of this courthouse's rooms. Of course, I'm not about to admit that we had no idea until a very little while ago.
Yeah. That's right, and if the rooms are soundproof, then we should have not been able to hear it. And yet we heard the gunshot clear as day.
And?
That's it, end of story.
But it's not. How should I explain why
It's
she was able to
dangerous to
hear
try
a
to put
gunshot?
makeup on that fast around your eyes. Like, don't
How
speed
should I
that.
explain? There was a hole in the wall. Obviously, something we've never even thought about up to this point.
But
There's a
of
hole in the wall.
course.
It explains everything. The window was open. The thing we've been talking about since day one.
What's wrong with your neck?
She's killing me, man. There is actually one common point between lobby number 1 and lobby number 2. And it is that despite the fact that both rooms have air conditioners installed, a window was open in each.
Oh.
Now, we know that the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, a window in lobby number 1 was also open.
That's such a weird...
It is.
Like,
It doesn't match her character.
No. It's probably just coincidence that they were both open at the same time.
Okay, she definitely did it. Because, number 1, as Edgeworth pointed out, the person who was able to use the tape had to be someone that knew that evidence existed in that evidence bag, and she would have been one of the few people that could have. And then number 2, she would have known that the other window was open, and she would have been in the lobby number 1, the other room that her and Bad were in. She would have known and be like, oh, let me open this window up, so that they'll be able to hear that gunshot.
You know what?
The only 2 people it can be are her or Bad, and I'm going to assume it's her.
I think her version of sweating is giggles.
Yeah, nervous laughter. All right, you already said that
Yeah.
one, right? Okay.
There's our man.
It was no mere coincidence, I assure you. Why was the window open in lobby number 1?
Oh boy.
The answer is that a certain person did something to cause the window to be opened. And the person who triggered that action, that person is the real guilty party. The real killer in this double murder is... Oh yeah, she dropped the perfume so the window would
Yeah.
go open. I forgot about that part until now.
You did?
Miss Calisto Yew. I hereby formally indict you the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell.
What?
Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah, let me tell you what.
You indict me?
Oh, she just got a bunch of lipstick all...
Yep.
Let's put a smile on that face. Okay.
Are you serious, Miles? Why do you think she's the killer?
I don't understand her motive just yet, but of course I'm serious, because she's the only one who could have done it. Well, Miss Yew, do you still feel like laughing now?
Ha 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 ha. Of course I do, Edgeworth.
Argument must not be tight enough yet.
Although I never thought things would spiral into this. But I'll have you know I'm enjoying this dance quite a bit. I guess this means it's time for my own rebuttal now, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh boy. You argue that the window was open. However, do you have proof it was and who it was I who did that? Furthermore, do you have proof that the tape was used in committing the crime? Frankly, I'm shocked at you for going around accusing people of murder like this. Especially with logic as full of holes as yours.
Ooh, lick my jacket, oh yeah.
No one asked you.
No.
This is where it really starts. I mustn't let my guard down for even a second or the truth will blow away.
Oh yeah.
Now's the time to put the patented Von Karma perfect proof to the test.
Perfect proof. You just sounded like you got something stuck in your mouth.
I know, right?
There's a feather out of nowhere.
Alright, so...
Okay.
Alright. Now I'll press it first, because then we have the perfume bottle, which is
Yeah.
what is making me think it in the first place. So let's go ahead and press it first. Evidence? All I need to do is have some prints analyzed and we'd know straight away.
Be my guest.
She sounds as though she has the room to maneuver, which means, even if we were able to lift prints, they'd only show that it was someone else. But why that someone else was forced to open the window? That's simple logic.
Yep.
Why not try presenting that piece of evidence? I have nothing to lose.
What's wrong? The scrunched eyebrows, lines on your forehead, they're all back. More importantly, are you going to be okay not running a fingerprint analysis?
Yes, I'll be fine.
Oh, well in that case, I'll just continue with my testimony, alright?
I like how the game was like, literally present the piece of evidence
Yeah.
to this right now.
They're like,
This is a tutorial for you on how to play Ace Attorney Investigations. Present evidence.
basically what it's doing.
It really gave us the...
It,
it was like,
it gave you like the hardcore tutorial level scripting.
like, it wasn't even holding my hand. It literally like stood behind me and pushed me. It's like, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen this before, haven't you, Miss Yew?
Edward, I never knew you were into wearing that kind of perfume. It's not exactly what I'd recommend for boys, you know?
But this isn't mine.
That's right, it's mine, and I received it from Detective Bad, you see.
Miss Yew, you can pretend all you like, but we know at least this much for sure. That this bottle of perfume was given Detective Bad by you.
Because it gets really strong really fast. So, what about the perfume?
While you were in lobby number 1, you made a big show of spilling some of this perfume. That's according to Detective Bad.
Oh yeah.
No, I know.
You also knew that if you spilled it, he would naturally move to open a window.
That's so weird. Come now, I've already told you that it's all just a big coincidence. After we opened the window in lobby number 1, I just left it open, you know? So maybe it was just dumb luck that we heard the gunshot through the window.
The timing of when you were going to spill the perfume is something you could control. And the most important fact about this case is when people are made to hear the shot. Furthermore, it would have been pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at the time.
You mean?
Miss Yew, you were the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1, when you saw him bring Detective Gumshoe into the hallway. Is that correct? All of today's premeditated events could only have been thought up by you, Miss Yew.
You accuse me of murder on the fact that I spilled a little perfume. Well, allow me to say this much. I couldn't have killed Mr. Faraday.
Would you care to testify as to why?
Look, I've had a lot of fun today, really. But I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all.
Sounds good to me.
She's getting sassy.
Why it couldn't be you?
It's gonna be me. Accusing someone of murder over a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top. But I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma.
Excuse me?
Oh.
Nani the fuck?
In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I didn't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from. Miles, her testimony. It's flawless.
Yes, but no matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, she won't escape me. And if I'm lacking in information, I'll just draw it out of her.
Like a syringe.
Yeah. We'll get to your sassy coming in a second. I'll be right after this one, but accusing someone of murder about perfume holder. I think I already explained the significance of that earlier.
You only confirmed that I did spill some perfume. But that's all. That you would accuse me of murder based on a simple spill? Don't you dare complain when I sue you for defamation of character. Suing in a courtroom.
But as for me, I believe.
You believe?
I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. That you are the true culprit in this case.
My, you're enthusiastic. Of course, I should have guessed.
Here it comes.
Yep. For your respect, we say we bring him in.
Hold it, you. Bitch.
I formally
request that you desist in your attack against my mentor.
In other words, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yes, so we'll sue you for defamation. All I'm doing is telling the truth. Well, maybe more like spreading gossip. Although your adamant denials are, shall we say, just adding fuel to the fire.
How dare you?
Say such a thing!
Oh, calm down, little girl. Oh, yeah, don't let her get to you. Oh, yeah.
Aw, why did you have to ruin my fun? Well, shall I continue?
I guess simply cannot have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. And why do you say that? And why exactly could you not have killed him?
I was just about to testify to that. You're such an impatient man. I'm not really into that, you know, Edgeworth.
Your preferences have no bearing on what is at hand.
Feeling a little uncomfortable, are we? Miss Yew, your desistance is tomfoolery and return to your testimony. And Miles, if you're going to lose your quiz, then I won't show you any mercy.
Sorry. Miss Yew, please continue with your testimony.
Sure. As I was saying, I couldn't have possibly killed Mr. Faraday.
I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from. Oh yeah, you do. Oh yeah, you do. At this rate, she will inevitably escape. But if she really was the one who killed Mr. Faraday, then she must have known about the existence of the knife. I'm sorry, Miss Yew. Maybe you weren't aware. However, the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday was taken from his evidence bag.
Miles, what do you think you're doing?
Shut the hell up, I'm playing it cool.
Miles, what are you doing?
I'm drawing the truth out of her. That's what I'm doing.
Huh? But I don't recall a knife being presented at the trial earlier today.
Well, I suppose that's because the evidence was something Mr. Faraday had yet to use.
So that's what you're trying to do. Look, why don't you cut it out with the lies? I've already figured you out. There was no knife inside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he had yet to present was the key to the Autogarasu had sent. And unless a key can magically turn into a knife, you really don't have a leg to stand on.
Ba-dum-dum.
Wow. Did you really think you could trap me? Come now, be honest.
I never intended to do such a thing. It was all misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I wonder if you might have been what you just said into your testimony?
Sure. Why not? I'll even say it as many times as you'd like.
I'll? Oh my gosh, she stuttered. See?
Oh.
I'll even say it. Okay. Oh man.
There was a key in his evidence bag, but you can't kill anyone with a simple key.
Oh man. You. Gotcha, bitch.
Isn't one of the things about lying when people start to add details?
And yeah. Miss Yew, I wonder if you might take a look at this photo for me. This is a picture of the key the Autogarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it is not. It is a key that the Autogarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it is not. It is a key that the Autogarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it is not. It is a key that the Autogarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it is not. It is a key that the Autogarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it is not. It is a key that the Autogarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it is not. It is a key that the Autogarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it is not. It is a key that the Autogarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it is not. It is a key that the Autogarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like
It can magically turn into a knife.
It, in fact, has the secret ability to transform into a knife. Which means that what was inside Mr. Faraday's bag was both the Adegrasu's key and the murderous knife. You knew that the key was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, did you not?
Yes.
Well, with the Adegrasu's key alone, it's more than possible to kill Mr. Faraday.
Oh boy.
Do you understand now? Just knowing the existence of the key.
Oh. She's been putting on so much makeup. I still haven't had a good look at it. Showing it to me from that far away, you could be lying for all I know.
You would, even now, still feign ignorance?
I'm not feigning anything. But we can't have you accusing me of a crime with false evidence now, can we? I mean, Mr. Von Karma, I've heard some very interesting rumors about him. Are you mocking my papa?
Don't you dare sully the good name of my mentor. Oh, that one's aged like milk.
Ooh.
Now take a good look. This piece of evidence is more than real.
Well, I mean, they don't know any better.
She's gonna
Wow, who knew there was such a trick to this thing?
She's gonna yeet that thing away. Are you satisfied now? But of course you knew from the very beginning, didn't you? You knew that the knife and the Adegrasu's key are one and the same. Otherwise someone like you, who wasn't a member of law enforcement and who would never have been privy to this trick, would have never known about it to begin with.
Oh god, it's even faster.
Furthermore, the something that the Adegrasu sent to the police, how did you have knowledge as to what it was?
Actually, I heard it from Mr. Faraday. Just before he dragged Mr. Rell off, he told me. Oh, that's right, I almost forgot. He also told me about the key turning into a knife at that time. Conveniently.
Yeah.
At this time, I am saying this now, after you showing me that.
Yeah.
But he didn't tell me about how the key actually transforms.
What you are saying is simply not possible.
Oh, and why not?
Because Mr. Faraday himself didn't know about the hidden knife within the key. For within these pages he mentions nothing about a knife.
I'm not sure he would have written everything in his organizer, you know. Wouldn't something of this importance be better left to oral communication?
Unfortunately, that is also impossible. Because Detective Bad didn't know about the knife aspect either. What would have been highly classified information, even within the police force, and is something that even the lead detective on the case didn't know. Why would Mr. Faraday have felt the need to share such information with the opposition?
Yeah, I guess he wouldn't have much of a reason to. Looks like I gave a pretty lame excuse, huh?
How can you laugh at a time like this?
She probably just realized the flaw in her logic and is actually in a panic over it. But that's not something we need to concern ourselves with.
I suppose you're right. Miss Yew? I'd like to state that I also know how you know the real nature of the knife.
Do you now? Well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and show me?
Oh, I will, and I'll wipe that smile off your face by the time we're through.
Ooh.
You just gotta give me about 23 and a half
Oh my
hours to get to that time.
Oh no, oh no.
Yep, next time.
Wait, what? How many hours did you just say?
23 and a half. You're going to wait right here and stop laughing. How dare you? How dare you?
You're